Guys, do subscribe the Gate Hunt and press the bell icon to receive notifications on latest jobs updates, Gate talks and video lectures on Gate and IES.
Hello guys, welcome to the fourth lecture on gender studies for IES. So guys, in the last lecture we have discussed about the networks based on transmission. Okay, so today we will be discussing about the types of networks based on scale. So there are five types of networks based on scale, which are LAN, MAN, WAN, internet and PAN. So first of all, let us talk about LAN. So LAN stands for local area network. So how does it differ from other types of networks based on scale? So LAN differs from MAN, WAN and internet based on its special characteristics. Okay. So these special characteristics are size and topology. So how does LAN differs from other types of networks in terms of size? It differs because it is smaller in size. Okay, then it differs based on topology. So what does topology mean? Guys, topology refers to the physical and logical behavior of a network. Here physical behavior means that how the systems are interconnected, whereas logical behavior means that how data transmission is taking place among the system. So the LAN is different from MAN, WAN and internet in terms of topology also. So for designing LAN, different topologies are used, whereas for designing MAN, WAN and internet, different types of topologies are used. So guys, common type of topologies that are used to design LAN are bus topology, ring topology and star topology. Guys, we will be discussing in detail about each type of topology later on. Now guys, let's talk about MAN. MAN stands for Metropolitan Area Network. Okay, so how does MAN differs from LAN, WAN and Internet? So MAN can differ from LAN, WAN and Internet based on its special characteristics called DQDB. So what does this DQDB stands here for? DQDB stands for Distributed Q Dual Bus. Okay, guys, IEEE standard for DQDB is 802.6. Okay, so this IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer. So it is a group of scientists which gives the definition to special terminologies. Okay, so you have to only remember that what is the IEEE standard for DQDB. You don't have to go in detail about IEEE and all. For time being, just remember that IEEE standard for distributed Q dual bus is 802.6 and the designing of MAN is based on DQDB. So guys, designing of MAN is not based on any topology. It is having a fixed architecture. So its designing is based on DQDB. So guys, let's discuss the designing of a metropolitan area network. So here the dual bus means to design a MAN we require two cables. Okay, so let us take two cables A and B. Now whatever node is present or involved in MAN, it should be able to use both the cables. So let us consider n number of nodes. Node number 1, node number 2, node number 3 and so on up to n. So in a MAN network, all these nodes are connected to both the cables. Guys, let's discuss that how a node in MAN can use both cables A and B. So let us assume that node 2 is willing to do a transmission to node 1. Okay. So how will this node 2 will do a data transmission with node 1? It will do the data transmission by following this path. Whereas if node 1 has to send some reply or some data transmission to node 2, then it will follow this path. Similarly, if node 2 has to send some data to node 3, then it will follow this path. Whereas if node 3 has to send some data to node 2, then it will follow this path. So guys, from here we can conclude that all the rightmost data transmission takes place via upper bus or upper cable. For example, this data transmission from node 1 to node 2 is taking place via upper cable. Similarly, all the leftmost data transmission takes place via lower bus. So here you can clearly see that data transmission from 2 to 1 is taking place from lower cable. Similarly, data transmission from cable 3 to 2 is taking place from lower cable. So here we can write that for cable A is responsible for rightmost data transmission. Similarly, the cable B is responsible for leftmost data transmission. Guys, now let's talk about the third type of network based on scale. So this is WAN. WAN stands for Wide Area Network. So guys, WAN, that is Wide Area Network, is created by the combination of LAN and MAN. So it can be created in following combination. It can be created as LAN-LAN combination, LAN-MAN combination, MAN-LAN combination, and MAN-MAN combinations. In order to design one example WAN, let us consider a LAN-LAN combination. Okay. So guys, let us consider four local area networks. Guys, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 represents the systems associated with different local area networks. Whereas R1 is representing the router associated with LAN 1 and R2 is representing router associated with local area network 2, R3 is representing router associated with local area network 3, and R4 is representing router associated with local area network 4. Guys, here you can clearly see that these local area networks are not interconnected. So how they can be interconnected? They can be interconnected using an intermediate router. Okay. So let us take an intermediate router IR. Hence, to make an interconnection, all routers, that is router R1, R2, R3 and R4, will have a connection to this intermediate router so that data transmission can be made from any one network to another. So guys, here this block is referred as subnet or autonomous system. Guys, let us consider that we need to transfer a data from system 1 to system 4. So here this system 1 can be considered as the source host and the system 4 is considered as the destination host. Okay, now a message M is placed on this source LAN and then it moves slowly towards router R1 and then from router R1 it moves to this intermediate router IR and then to router R2 and then to the destination host. So guys, we can show this data transmission pictorially. So first of all, the message is in source host and then source host transfers this message to source LAN and then it gets transferred by source LAN to source router and then it gets transferred to intermediate router and then it gets transferred to the destination router from where it gets transferred to destination LAN and then finally it reaches the destination host. Guys, now let's discuss about the different types of topologies. So as we have discussed earlier that every topology is having some physical behavior and some logical behavior. So while studying these different types of topologies, we will focus on their physical behavior and their logical behavior. So guys, first of all, let's talk about bus topology. So the pictorial representation of bus topology is like this. So guys, from here we can see that in bus topology, all systems are connected to the same channel. Okay. So this is a broadcast network. What is a broadcast network? We have studied in previous lecture when we were studying about the different types of networks based on transmission technology. So there were two types of networks, broadcast network and point-to-point network. So guys, from here we can conclude about the physical behavior of bus topology. Physical behavior, as we have discussed earlier, defines how the systems are interconnected. Okay. So in a bus topology, all the systems are connected to the same link in linear fashion. Guys, talking about the logical behavior as discussed earlier defines how data transmission takes place among the system. So in a bus topology, in earlier days, before the invention of Ethernet, only one station can transfer the data, and this station was known as the master station. Guys, for example, let us assume that I am elder than you and I am more qualified than you. Guys, it's only an assumption, okay? So, therefore, I am acting as a master to you and I am transferring the data to you. So, while I am transferring the data to you, you people are not allowed to make a communication or make some transmission. So this is what the master is. So only one station can transfer the data, and while this station is transferring the data, remaining stations are not allowed to make a data transmission. So guys, main drawback with this type of logical behavior was if two or more stations are trying to transfer the data, that is trying to act as a master, it leads to a collision. So for example, in this set of classroom in which I am delivering a lecture to you, there is one person who is equal to my age and is also equal to my qualification. Then he will also try to be a master. So there will be a possibility of data collision. So guys, in order to avoid this drawback, we introduced an arbitrary mechanism which is called IEEE 802.3, okay, which is nothing but Ethernet. So the function of Ethernet is to avoid data collision. Guys, Ethernets are basically of three types. These are standard Ethernet, fast Ethernet, and gigabit Ethernet. So these three types of Ethernet can be differentiated based on the data rate provided. So the data rate provided in case of a standard Ethernet is 10 Mbps, whereas data rate provided in case of a fast Ethernet is 100 Mbps. And the data rate provided in a gigabit Ethernet is 1 Gbps. Guys, standard Ethernet is further classified into four types. Now, the first is 10 base 2, second one is 10 base 5, third one is 10 base T, and the fourth one is 10 base F. So, these four types of standard Ethernet vary in their properties in terms of data rate, length, and transmission media used. So, in case of 10 base 2 standard Ethernet, data rate provided is 10 Mbps and the length of this type of standard Ethernet is 200 meters. Moreover, the transmission media used is thin coaxial cables. Guys, similarly, in case of 10 base 5 standard Ethernet, data rate provided is 10 Mbps and length of these Ethernets is 500 meters and transmission media used is thick coaxial cable. And in case of 10 base T Ethernets, data rate provided is 10 Mbps and the length of Ethernets is 100 meter and transmission media used is twisted pair. Similarly, in case of 10 base F Ethernets, data rate provided is 10 Mbps and the length of these Ethernets is 2000 meters and the transmission media used is fiber optics. So from here, this thing represents the data rate of Ethernet and this thing represents the length of Ethernet. So alright guys, that's it for today's lecture. We will meet in the next lecture. and will continue our discussion about topologies.
Guys, do hit the like button and do subscribe the Gate Hunt and press the bell icon to receive notifications on latest jobs updates, Gate talks and video lectures on Gate and IES.